Good morning and welcome. It's probably safe to say that most of us have fallen victim to the latest gadgets and widgets and apps that promise to enrich our lives and make us more productive and boost our productivity. And most of what we encounter, however, I think, is quite the opposite. Is simply adding layers of complexity to our lives and frustration. So today I want to take you through a series of tools that can help you be more productive in real-world applications. So let's start by identifying the series of objectives that we will use to define how we choose our tools. Accessibility. This is having information at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. Distraction-free, simply tools that are going to help you have more quiet time. Organization, finding your data when you need it. And finally, speed. Next to last, speed. Faster responses or simply less time constrained to a keyboard or a monitor. And finally, downtime. So the reality is that we all require downtime, we all need it, so why not make the most of every moment? So I have a quote up here. It is not enough to be busy. The question is, what are we busy about? Henry David Thoreau. So as small business owners and entrepreneurs, we've all put the more free time and time with our family in the pro column when we were deciding to venture out on our own, I'm sure. And I think this quote is a nice reminder of how non-productive, busy work can creep into our lives and how we must be vigilant to make sure that that doesn't happen. Okay. So let's move on to the tools. The tools here that I've chosen that outlines those specific categories are Dropbox, the pause button, Evernote, which I believe Kathy's going to be talking to you about a little bit later in greater detail, Dragon Dictation, and Pulse. So your files anywhere. What is Dropbox? Dropbox is a file sharing application. Dropbox allows you to, it is cloud-based storage, multi-platform, so it allows you to easily put your files, large files, in the cloud, and it offers a great way to share those files, and most importantly, I think, for a lot of us, it's free. So we're going to get 2 gigs of free storage, and because it's cloud-based, it's going to be synced across all of our devices. So this means through your iPad, your iPhone, your desktop, and your Mac. So here I have a picture. I was hoping to score some points with you with a puppy. This is a screenshot of an iPad here, and on the left-hand side we see pretty easily these are all the files listed. We can preview those files right there within the app, make a selection, actually send that out, or send a link to somebody so they can actually link right back to your cloud-based storage, in this case a picture. The next screenshot here of Dropbox is also from an iPad. I chose an iPad because we're trying to be productive, more mobile, more accessible. If you have this, you can actually upload your files too. So let's say you're a real estate agent, or you happen to be an insurance adjuster. You're out on site. You're taking a picture of the damage or a certain piece of real estate, and you want to share that with your entire staff or maybe clientele. Simply take that picture, upload it, and it's going to go right to the storage, and you can email that link. Everybody can see that. Okay, so this is aptly titled Our Supreme Overlord, and I think this is very true with email for most of us. So take a break from the tyranny of your email. I know this is probably one of the biggest distractions for most of us, and for me, of course, it's the biggest. Inbox pause is the very first one, Inbox Pause is a Google Chrome add-in. It links directly to Gmail and to the back end of Gmail. So if you have Google Chrome, you want to pause the alerts that you get from email, simply download this free app, goes into your Google Chrome toolbar, press the pause button, and this is actually going to pause those emails or from you getting alerts from those emails. And because it happens on the back end, if you've got any sort of devices that link to Gmail, it's going to automatically pause those as well until you turn it back on. I think this is a great add-in. Finally, iOS 6. I think most of you probably have iPhones or iPads. iOS 6 just came out a couple months ago. It has a great feature now, Do Not Disturb. I use this regularly, probably to the chagrin of my partner. But it's needed because you can silence all of your alerts, not just email, but your phone calls, your Twitter, your Facebook, anything that's going to make your phone or iPad buzz or beep. For Do Not Disturb iOS 6, if you've got it available, simply click the settings. You're going to see right there in the second-hand row, Do Not Disturb. That's the manual process. You can turn that right on and off manually. Or you can actually schedule it, which is great. So I've scheduled, you can see mine, I need some downtime, I need to go to sleep, read a book, 10:30 to 6 a.m. I'm not going to get any pings from my phone. The next one here is Evernote. Evernote, again, is a cloud-based multi-platform application and service, and it helps you organize your life. So Evernote is going to allow you to capture notes, media, social messages, video, voice memos, anything that you can capture from your computer or capture from your mobile device. You can put it into Evernote, and it's going to categorize, organize, and you're going to be able to search later through key tag words. This is also a free application. Looking in Evernote, this is Evernote for iPad. You're going to see these are the notes. You have the titles at the top, date and time stamps, the note itself, the body of the note, and you can attach documents, PDFs, images, like I said, pretty much any media. This is probably one of the more creepy features of Evernote, depending on your opinion, but it's going to also capture geolocation if you choose to have that feature on. And so obviously you can see this person was creating notes and exactly where that note was created. I don't recommend this if you're planning to rob a bank to use Evernote. The note addition here you're going to see is very similar to like an email. You're going to open this up. You have the title, the notebook, the tags. You can put in the body of the email any sort of links. I don't know if you can see this, but right at the top there, you can see where you can actually import your media or create media right there from the note itself. So speed and convenience. I do have an iPhone, however, I don't have the next generation, which has Siri, so I can't bark commands to Siri. However, this is probably the next best thing. This is drag and dictation, and it's just that it is speech to text. Okay, so if I am in the car, which I am mostly in the car, and I need to respond quickly, or I've got an idea, or I need to send a quick note to someone, I can simply launch this application, which is free, and I can tap to create a new note. It's a very simplistic design. It allows you to, there's not a lot of bells and whistles, but it actually does a fantastic job at capturing your speech. Once you tap that recording, it starts recording. Next one here, this was a test, and you'll notice I just say, hello everyone, this is an example of drag and dictation, thanks for listening. Now the punctuation was a little more difficult to get used to. You actually have to say exclamation point or period or new paragraph. I didn't realize that at first, and my wife came into the bedroom, and I was yelling at my iPad and trying to get it to put an exclamation point. And so finally we have the downtime category, and this is pulse. And I think this is so important. This is I'm a news junkie, and I absolutely love reading all sorts of news, tech, science, politics. And this is a news aggregate that pulls all of those sources, all of your favorite sources, into one single app. So Pulse allows you to also quickly just browse through each heading, each story, and tap on the one that you want, and you can share it later. So it's easily digestible headlines and pictures, make it a breeze. So let's take a look through this. This is a little bit tough to see here, but what this is if you first want to set up, let's say you don't know the sources that you actually want to pull from, or you want recommendations, adding sources is very easy. Simply going through the categories there at the top, you swipe it just like through kind of the App Store or iTunes. And down there at the bottom, it's going to give you a list of recommendations of some of the top sources. Once you've added the sources, so on the left-hand side, those are some predefined sources and some that are custom, so local ones you can search for. Simply tap the, as you can see, simply tap one of the squares there, and you're going to get on the right-hand side the heading, the picture, and a little blurb about that story. Clicking on the top highlighted heading will take you right to the story within the app, so it's not going to dismiss this app and launch Safari or anything like that. It all stays within the app. If you want to share this, very easy to share. Down at the bottom right, you just click the share button, and you can post this to Twitter, to Facebook, or you can simply email it, which I tend to do a lot. Okay, so these are the honorable mentions. Keynote, Pages, and Kindle. Keynote and Pages are the PowerPoint and Word of the Apple world. And obviously, we probably all know what Kindle is, e-reader. I chose these because Keynote and Pages I tend to use a lot, and I tend to use it on my phone and iPad more because it will sync up then through iCloud effortlessly. And I think Microsoft kind of missed the boat on that a little bit. Keynote actually, I used it to create this presentation, and because I don't have, and I actually created it on my iPad, and because I don't have a lot of time to devote, maybe an hour, 2 hours at a time to do that, taking my iPhone and iPad with me, I did it in 5-10 minute chunks, 1 slide, 2 slides at a time, and it all syncs up so I can review it later. Kindle is the same way. It goes along with that downtime. I like to read a lot. I can read a couple chapters at a time, 5-10 minutes, half an hour. Typically, we're so busy we don't have an hour, 2 hours to devote. So, in conclusion, I took you through the tools that I believe will effortlessly increase your productivity in the real world and have real world application for them. So, my recommendations you may not like, or you may have already seen them. But I think what I want you guys to most take away from this is that I want to make sure your tools work for you. Thank you.